All right, very special guest today. In fact, I don't know that I've ever interviewed anybody with this title, but we're joined by a maple syrup entrepreneur and founder of the Maple Syrup Festival. Tim Burton joins us. Tim, how are you?
I'm great. I'm doing fantastic.
Good. Thanks for taking some time out of your day. You're in Laramie today. What's going on here in the Gem City?
Well, we are participating in the Laramie Farmers Market, and we're kind of doing a maple tour in Wyoming and Colorado.
Why maple syrup? What's your background with maple syrup?
Yeah, sure. Our we have a family farm in Indiana, in the southern hills of Indiana, and we have a lot of maple trees on our farm. So we are producers of maple syrup, and the reason that we're out in this part of the country is about 4 years ago we were invited to a gourmet event in Vail, Colorado called Gourmet on Gore. And so my wife Angie and I thought, gosh, that's an awful long way to go to peddle maple syrup, but it's also Colorado, so it's a win-win. So even if we don't sell a lot of maple syrup, we're still going to have a great vacation type of thing. So we did that, and a local paper picked up that we were there. And then we started getting calls from other market managers asking, hey, are you guys going to be back next year? Maple syrup just is not a common item that we have out here. While maple syrup might be on the shelves of different stores, it's very rare that we actually have a maple syrup producer at the market. And so over the course of 3 to 4 years, this thing just kind of grew some legs, and we thought, well, why don't we go into Wyoming and see if some of the markets would be interested in having us. And lo and behold, we were received with open arms and a warm heart. And so that's what we're doing in Laramie today. We're going to be at the market, and we're going to be offering samples of our farm's A and B grade maple syrup, as well as a gourmet syrup that we started to produce about 3 years ago, where we're barrel aging our maple syrup and use rum, bourbon, and brandy barrels. So the maple syrup takes on the notes of what was in that barrel.
Wow, that's fantastic, and you're absolutely right. You can find maple syrup on the store shelves here in Wyoming, and I assume in Colorado as well. But it is tough to find that producer, and I'm sure kind of a more pure maple syrup flavor.
Well, yeah, and you're touching on a good point here. Our B grade maple syrup is darker in color and it's more robust in flavor. And it's a little bit more difficult to find B grade maple syrup on the shelves in stores. Typically, it's going to be an A grade, maybe a light amber or a medium amber. And what we have found is most chefs and homemakers prefer the B grade because it's so much more robust in maple flavor. And so we're going to have that, and it's almost going to be like a wine tasting, but it's going to be a maple tasting, if you will. People will be able to try the A grade, and then we'll move to the B grade, and then we'll finish it out with our High West whiskey barrel aged maple syrup and our Breckenridge bourbon barrel aged maple syrup.
Okay, very good. I know you touched on it a little bit, but what's the process kind of like to make this high quality of maple syrup, and how long does the process take?
Well, it's very labor intense, not only from the point of collecting the sap from the maple trees, but by reduction. We evaporate the sap, and it takes 40 gallons. It takes 40 gallons of maple sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. So in essence, I have to boil off 39 gallons of this sap into the atmosphere to get to that 1 gallon of maple syrup. When that sap comes out of the tree, it comes out at about 2% sugar. And when you taste pure maple syrup, it's about 67% pure sugar. So it's a long process. It's very labor intense. And maple syrup is definitely a luxury item. What is commonly found in the stores is flavored corn syrup, totally different than what pure maple syrup is all about. And pure maple syrup goes a long way. There's so many different applications for pure maple syrup, whether you use it in your coffee, in your tea, or whether you use it as a braise. My wife and I, we love to use our barrel-aged maple syrup when we have salmon on the grill, or even pork chops or chicken. You can use it as a finish and just let it caramelize on that. And we have so many customers who are vegetarians. They come back to us and they say, you know what I used the barrel age on is Brussels sprouts, or I used it on baby carrots, or bread pudding, or simply just putting it on a scoop of vanilla ice cream. So, you know, that those are some of the applications for the maple syrup. And ours. And the other thing is, our season only lasts. Our harvest period is only for about 6 weeks out of the entire year. So we cannot make maple syrup for the entire year. So once it's gone, it's gone. We have to wait for the season to start up again. And in southern Indiana, our season starts at the beginning of February and just goes into the first part of March. When we're finished, up north in Canada, their season's just beginning. But their season's the same length of time. It's only 6 weeks.
Wow, that's incredible. I didn't realize the harvest window was so narrow there. Tim, you're in Laramie today. I know you're over in Cheyenne tomorrow, then off to Colorado. Do you like doing these kind of things? Do you like being on the road and meeting new people and showing your product?
It's a lot of fun. I especially like to see the reaction that we get from whether it's, you know, a 7-year-old or a 70-year-old. When they taste maple syrup for the very first time, it's great to see what their reaction's like. And you know, I've heard most questions, but I love to answer those questions and give people information about, you know, the industry and how it's done and that type of thing. So yeah, to answer your question, I really enjoy being out here and doing this. And this is the first year that we've done such a long tour. You know, we started over in Casper. We went to Buffalo, Cody, Jackson Hole, and now we're gonna be going. And then we were in Estes Park yesterday, Laramie today, and then Cheyenne tomorrow, and then spend the rest of the month in Colorado up through Labor Day, and then we go back to the farm after Labor Day.
Wow, great. Getting a nice tour of the Rocky Mountain region. You host something called the National Maple Syrup Festival out there in Indiana. What is that?
Well, yes, we do. It's the first weekend of March, and for the last 5 years, we've hosted it on our farm. This year, we've actually, I'm from a small town. My farm is just about 3 miles from a small town called Medora, population probably 900. Well, we've staged everything. All the guests park in the small town of Medora, and then we have like 5 buses that just constantly circulate between the town and our farm. Well, I never thought I'd ever hear these 2 words used in the same sentence, and that was Medora and gridlock. And that's what's happened. And so the festival committee had to reconsider where we were staging this festival, because people are coming from all over the United States to this festival. So there's a great a community not far from where our farm is called Nashville, Indiana, in Brown County, Indiana. And the 2015 National Maple Syrup Festival is going to be held in Nashville, and then we will be busing people out to various maple farms in the area. So we're excited about that. We're going to be hosting a national baking contest called the Sweet Victory Challenge, which is a baking competition for both youth and adults. And there's some great prizes for that, and that'll be at you'll be able to find a link for that at www.nationalmaplesyrupfestival.com.
All right, it's great. We'll catch you at the farmers market here in Laramie today from 3 to 7, and then you're over in Cheyenne at their farmers market from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. tomorrow. Tim, is there anywhere folks can go to get more information about your product? Anything you need to push?
Yeah, I appreciate that. We have our website is burtonsmaplewoodfarm.com, burtonsmaplewoodfarm.com, and you can find our products there. And there's some really great clips. Jimmy Fallon gave us a shout out on his program when before he took over the Tonight Show. So it was a late night with Jimmy Fallon, and he actually talks about the National Maple Syrup Festival. And he's kind of poking a little fun at it, but we thought it was great, and we even sent him a case of maple syrup afterwards, and he got back with us and said he really appreciated it. So you could find that clip on my website, and it's a fun thing to watch. And then we were also featured on the Martha Stewart show. So those are kind of fun things to watch as well. And we're looking so forward to meeting the folks from Laramie and the folks from Cheyenne, and we're so excited to be here.
Absolutely. All right. Tim Burton, go to burtonsmaplewoodfarm.com, check out more, and stop by and see him at the market today from 3 to 7. Tim, anything else we need to know?
No, that's it. I'm ready to start giving samples to everybody and answering some questions.
I'm looking forward to that. You're making me hungry already. So, Tim, thanks for taking some time out of your day. Enjoy your time here in Laramie, and enjoy the rest of your trip.
Hey, thanks so much. Look forward to seeing you.